Are you thinking about moving to Houston, Texas? Today we are going to talk about Houston. In this video, I am going to go over 10 things you need to know before you move to Houston. Is Houston is a walkable place? Is Houston is a place where for you it is good for you to raise a family? What is the lifestyle is like in Houston, Texas? So I want you to stay until at the end of the video because I am going to give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly of what it takes to live in Houston. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is job. When you are moving to a new city, we all know if you are not moving from one company to relocate it to a new city, you are just going to look for a job. If you are somebody who's an engineer, you're working in the oil and gas industry, we know Houston is the leading when it comes to energy, when it comes to oil and gas for job. And also if you are someone who work on the medical field, and if you are like, if your kids want to come to university in Houston, we have the best university, which is UT right here in Austin. So when it comes to medical, Houston is continue to be leading. We have MD Anderson, we have Texas Children, we have the Houston Methodist, we have so many great hospitals that you guys can walk and you still will be able to balance your life. And for those of you who never visit Houston before, Houston is not like what you see on TV. And for company, we have company like Telsa Oracle, who's decided to move to Houston, and we have the Hewlett Packard company, I hope I pronounced it right, that decided to move their headquarters to Houston. And of course, you remember Chevron's used to be in Maryland, they moved right here to Houston. Their headquarters is right here in the Woodland. And when it comes to job growth, Houston for 20 years is continued to be growing, it's continued to be a leading. Houston is the ninth largest country that is, when it comes to economy, is continuing to grow year after year and after year for 20 years. So when it comes to job, guys, if you are somebody, let's say if you are a teacher, our school are still hiring. I was talking to somebody who contacted me. She was not in a position to buy, but I have sent her some information on what school she can apply to get a job and which neighborhood that she can look for an apartment. So if you are thinking about moving to Houston, job will not be a problem. When you move to a new city, you need a place to live. So that's our number 3 in the list, is housing. How is the housing market right now? So when you're looking at apartments, so I live between Cypress and Katy. Right now, for a 3-bedroom apartment, I've personally called some apartment complex, for example in Katy, like the Falcon area. For a 3-bedroom apartment, you will be in the $1,900, close to $2,000 for 3-bedroom. For a 1-bedroom apartment, you'll be between, depends, if you go into the Falcon area in Katy, which is 77493 494, you will be in the $1,200, $1,300. But if you were to go in the lower end area, you're looking at $1,200. But depends, most of those apartments in the Cypress Katy area, those are not government apartments, so they are a little bit more expensive. But if you're looking for like government apartment where you can live at the same time you park your car, nothing bad is going to happen, you're looking in the Houston area, most likely you will be paid $1,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. But let's say, when I say $1,000, let's say you go to live close to 45 area in the 1960, close to Green Spring area, which is not, I wouldn't call it the bad neighborhood, but I wouldn't call it also the worst neighborhood in Houston. Most likely you will be paid about $1,000 for a 1-bedroom. And I had somebody that just moved in that area, which happened to be my husband my husband's nephew. And when my mother-in-law was talking to me, I say, okay, where do you find an apartment that cheap? He say, oh, he gave it a name. So I am not going to say the name, but he does give it a name. So guys, keep that in mind. And when it comes to houses, if you are buying a home, people used to think, okay, I'm coming to Houston, I can get big home for my buck. So right now, the average price home for a new construction house, it's in the 350. So, but again, there is one of my builder that is most affordable for people that are in the low end, that are currently built in Spring. It is DR Orton. They are building low income housing, but the neighborhood is very nice, very well maintained, and it is in the Spring area. They are going to have a new sections open this coming, actually in the couple of months, and it's supposed to be this coming in the summer. You will probably find something in the 250 price range, but the square footage for those homes will be most likely in the 1400 in one-story house, and those are like very affordable. If you are someone again who's in a budget and you do not have a lot of money but you have good credit, you are able to qualify for down payment assistance. You will be able to get one of those homes. The area where those homes are located is very nice. They have pool, they have playground, they have trail and park, so everything you need are in those areas. But if you are in the high-end sections, of course you can get the home that you desired for you and your family. So that's number 3 in the list. So our number 4 on the list is education. For those of you who have children, I know you are worried about their educations. Keep in mind, most Houston neighborhood have their own school inside the neighborhood, especially if you purchase a home in a master plan community. Even if you are not on a master plan community, I reside in Cypress. My home, when I bought it, was not on the master plan community, but right behind me where they have Mavida is being built. So my neighborhood is connected with Mavida. Mavida is a master plan community. So you have to understand, for education, guys, most of those schools, they are a blue ribbon school. And when it comes to university, you have so many universities, and we have Lone Star, Texas Community College. It's a very good school where if you are someone who's on a budget, you want your kids to take the prerequisite from Lone Star and then they can transfer to UT, you can do that. And actually in the recent years, UT and Texas Lone Star College, they have bring some course at Texas Lone Star to give those kids opportunity. I know somebody that just graduated from dentist school, and when she did not get accepted in the program at UT, so she went to a pre-review college and she did all her prerequisite, and then she was able to transfer her course to UT, and now she graduated. She's a dentist. So there is so many ways you guys can go and do what you need to do. But education in Texas, yes, your kids will have great education. We have the best college in the United States. Number 5 in the list is taxes. So when you move, even though resident in Houston, Texas, we do not pay state income tax, but when it comes to property tax, Texas in general have high property tax compared to other city. And especially if you are someone who live in the Harris County, your tax will probably pretty high. So where I am located, I'm taking myself for example so you guys can understand. My home is currently a 3.8. So whenever I receive my tax statement, it says 3.8. So your tax, again, your property tax, whenever you receive the tax, some part of it goes to school, some part of it goes to the city, part of it goes to the police department, part of it, so it goes in different, so they show you what your tax, like the contribution, where each part go. But as far as tax compared to other state and compared to other city, you can say we have the highest taxes. Number 6 in the list, things you need to know before you move to Houston. Understanding when you move to Houston, when it's the summer, it gets hot, guys. Like I said, if you are someone who's driving in traffic, you own a car and your car does not have AC, you will be sweating like a pig. And if you are someone with light skin, even with dark skin, wear sunscreen because you will be grilled. And being someone that love outdoor, when you go, you will have a two-tone skin when you come out. So understand that, and there is no way to avoid it. The Texas heat, the humidity, it's not only the heat come from the ground with such humidity, it's muggy. So for you guys who love to do your hair and then you think you're going to go outside and your hair is gonna stay the same the whole day, no, it's not going to be, because our hair is not, the air is not dry. So because of the humidity, so you come out flawless, and then by the time you come back inside, your skin, everything looks different. So understand that part. Number 7 in our list is be open for change, because Houston is one of the most diverse. So regardless of your background, if you are not open to change, then Houston may not be a place for you to live. You are going to be triggered by every time you go out, you see couples, you see family, you are going to be triggered if you are somebody that open to change, because Houston is so diverse. When it comes to interracial couple, when it comes to same-sex couple, when it comes to family-friendly area, you find some area are more family catered to. When you go on the suburb like Katy, Cypress, and Conwell, when you go to some areas in the woodlands, you find a lot of those areas are catered more toward family with children. But if you are somebody who's single, ready to mingle, you want to live the nightlife, of course you want, if you are in the same sex couple, you want to be somewhere in the Montrose area, West University area. And if you are someone who's single, ready to mingle, then you want to be somewhere in the Heights area. Those areas are more expensive, but those are the areas where you probably will find people that you can connect with, people you can make friends with. And keep in mind, we are the friendliest state, but we embrace diversity, so be open to change. Okay, so our next, which is number 8 in the list, is understanding Houston culture is very rich. When it comes to social life, Houston is rich. There is so much for you guys to do. If you are someone who loves outdoor, you go to the museum district, you go there, you can go to the Memorial Herman Park. There is always event going on. There is outdoor movie theater always going on in the Memorial Park area. When it comes to sport, we are a state of big band. When it comes to the Texans, even though they don't do good, but we still support our team. We have the Houston Dynamo. And for those of you who like soccer, and I have the craziest story, and it's a little bit embarrassing. I always have story. So when I first moved to Houston, I used to work in the airport as a supervisor, and I had the opportunity, because I was giving break to one of my cashier, and I stand on one of the kiosks. That was back in 2008, 2009. So I'm standing in one of the kiosks, and guys, this is so embarrassing. I met all of the Houston Dynamo team, and I did not know who they were, and the whole team were talking to me. And I remember one of the leading star of the Houston Dynamo talking to me, like, because the flight was delayed, and I just stand there. We were talking for a whole hour, and I did not know who they were until the flight was about to leave. Then he told me who he was, and he took a picture with me, and I was so embarrassed, because I was telling him that I do not watch soccer here because I didn't think the team was good enough, but I love the World Cup series. And I stand in the man's face and I say that. So that's mean to say, when you meet somebody, don't ever make the mistake that I made. And I have so many stories when I was in the airport, things that happened to me. And then I make it a big deal to find out, okay, the face of every team, like the players, I make it like I make it my goal. So whenever there is somebody that just get drafted, I make it my goal to know who they were, because I never want that experience to happen again. So that's enough about that. But we love our Texas Rocket. I have been to those basketball games, and I had a client that I had the opportunity that gave me court seat, where I sit down in the floor close to the team. I go in the back and I enjoy a glass of wine, even though I cannot drink, and I have a story about that. That's for another day. So guys, cultural is very, very, very much involved in Houston. So you will have fun living in Houston, regardless of where you choose to live, north, south, east, and west. You will have plenty of fun. And we have art for your kids that love to be an astronaut. We have Astro's World, that's not here anymore, but we have the Space Center where your kids can go and visit. So if you are someone that your kids love to be a pilot, and I have a story about that, that's for another day. But guys, keep that in mind. Cultural is a very, very big thing here in Houston. Our number 9 in the list is gun. So Houston take the Second Amendment very, very serious. Most Houston residents own a gun. So some of them are licensed, some of them are not licensed. And the law here, if you are someone who's thinking about moving to Texas, when you go on to your shopping, you will be triggered to see somebody that is a civilian and they have carried. That's because they have a carried license, so they can carry their gun. I have gone to meeting where somebody has a license to carry it, and they sit right there and they have their Texas belt buck on, and they have their gun right there. So if you are somebody who's triggered by gun, I know there is a lot of violence going on with a lot of gun shooting. You might have a different opinion, but Texans are very proud of guns owner. So don't be triggered, don't be alert if you see somebody owning a gun here in Houston. Okay, number 10 in the list, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about, it is don't mess with Texas. There is that slogan, don't mess with Texas. If you are somebody who's very triggered by things you see you do not like, and you are very liberal to say, I'm not talking about politics, your opinion is your opinion. It's very relevant, and this is something that I have researched and I have found. If you are somebody who's thinking about moving to Houston and you have something negative to say about Houston, you don't like Houston because of this and that, don't say it in front of long time Texans. Don't say it, because Texans are very, very, very proud. People that live here in the state, they were born, they were raised from generation to generation. Their kids go to college and they come back, build a family, build a legacy here in Houston. So don't come and say, okay, I wish I never moved to Texas. So, and what they're going to tell you, if you wish you never moved here, then go back to where you come from. So they are going to say it in your face, and they are not going to sugarcoat it. And keep in mind, Houston is the friendliest state, but as long as you don't step in somebody else's feet, you will enjoy living in this great state. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and follow this channel, because every week I come out with new video. Make the channel grow, share my video, share it with your friend who's thinking about relocating here to Houston, and I love it to be part of your home buying journey. So goodbye, guys. Thank you so much. God bless.